Yep, we are reviewing yet another set of truly wireless earbuds. This time it's from Edifier and it's the TWS5s. These things are actually pretty great and they check out almost all the boxes for a good set of truly wireless earbuds at a price point of $80. So is it any good and how good is it? Well, let's go and find out. So starting off with the case itself, it has a nice build quality, 3 LED indicators on the front and a micro USB charging port on the back. Now it would have been nice if it was actually Type-C. It's 2019, it's almost 2020, and honestly I think everything should have Type-C at this point, but we'll let this one pass. Simple Edifier logo on the top that is embossed, and a nice not floppy kind of door. And I'm saying that because some other earbuds have some floppy doors. This one on the other hand is nice and solid. And once you close it, it's also very solid, it doesn't shake as well, so it has a nice magnetic click. Moving on to the actual earbuds themselves, we have a nice texture on the outside. It has more of a metallic look, and it's fairly similar to the actual case itself. There's the logo, and of course the logo itself, like many other earbuds, is the capacitive touch button that will allow you to do the media controls, and we'll talk more about those in just a bit. And when it comes to the rest of the shell, we can see that it has a shiny black finish, which is a fingerprint magnet, but thankfully it's mostly hidden when you actually put them on. So once again, the touch controls are on the logos themselves, and there are two things that you should definitely know about them. One of them is the fact they can only control the phone calls and the music playback, which means you can only pause and play, skip and backwards, as well as answering and rejecting your phone calls, which means there is no Google Assistant, and I have tried a bunch of different combinations, and it does not seem like that is the case. So if you're someone who actually uses the Google Assistant, then you simply won't be able to use that, unless of course you go ahead and do it manually. Personally, I really don't care about that feature, but a lot of people out there definitely do. Now the other thing that you should definitely know is the fact that these are very sensitive. So if you're trying to itch your ear or kind of fix the precision of them, you might accidentally actually touch them and they will instantly pause or play according to whatever you're playing on them. So just be careful, there will be the chance that you might accidentally pause. Honestly, not that big of an issue. Now when it comes to the actual look when you put them on your ears, they don't look too bad. They actually look pretty decent and overall not a whole lot to complain about. But what's more important than the looks is how they actually stay in your ear and how comfy they are. Well, I'm glad to say that these things are pretty fantastic when it comes to the actual sealing quality of these things. Not only have some great sealing quality, so good that it's kind of too much, when they actually come to staying in your ear, they stay in very nicely. They don't fall off no matter what you do, and they're going to do a fantastic job, which really is one less thing to worry about. Now of course you can see that there's an LED indicator right here that will flash in blue and red depending on what kind of status it is. And at this point, let's go ahead and talk about the audio quality. So when it comes to the audio quality, the bass here is nice and punchy, the mids are nice and clean, but when it comes to the trebles, I would say it's a bit on the higher end. But overall, from what I can gather, these things have a V-shaped pattern, which means higher trebles and bass, which is really what most people are looking for. When it comes to the actual quality, it's actually really good. The quality here is very nice and clean, it's very crisp, but when it comes to loudness, it's not as loud as other earbuds, but they will be good for most people. You will most likely be maxing out the volume because these things don't get as loud as other earbuds. So as long as whatever you're playing has nice volume, then you're going to be okay. Now, how clean is the audio itself? Well, although they do have some hiss in the background like many other earbuds and Bluetooth headphones out there, thankfully these things are under control, and I honestly don't like hiss, but I found these to be okay, and I was easily able to deal with them. And at the end of the day, you'll most likely be wearing these outside on the go. You'll most likely only hear the hiss when you're indoors in a quiet room. But if you're at the gym, or walking outside in the streets, or in transit, you will definitely not hear the hiss, and it will be covered up by whatever you're playing. You'll only really hear it when you actually pause something, and you'll hear it for 1 to 2 seconds, and then it disappears. Now when it comes to delay, these things pretty much don't have it, and that's all thanks to the aptX codec that is running off Qualcomm, and it's also the fact that it's on Bluetooth 5.0. It's basically running some newer hardware, so there's no delay, which means you can easily watch movies or videos or even play games, and we will get back to that in just a bit. In fact, let's talk about it now. Now when it comes to the microphone quality, surprisingly, these things are actually pretty good. Not only are they actually pretty great for phone calls, but they're also pretty decent for voice chat. So if you want to hop on Discord and chat with friends, you can definitely do that with these things, and your friends shouldn't have too much of an issue. If you're in a pinch and you have your gaming laptop in a hotel and you forgot your headset, well, these things can actually cover up for you. Or maybe you're on your phone and doing some gaming, these things can definitely do the job. So here's a quicker audio sample of what these things sound like. As you can hear, it does sound pretty good compared to a whole lot of Bluetooth headphones and earbuds out there. Keep in mind, if you're doing a phone call, the audio will not sound exactly like this. It will be compressed, it will be edited by your phone, and it'll sound much better on the receiving end what you're listening to right now. And the same thing goes with Discord and applications like that. The receiving end will always get a much cleaner and clearer audio, so just keep that in mind. And with that should give you a pretty good idea of how good the microphone is. Now moving on to the battery life, these things are slightly different than most earbuds. The claimed total battery life of these things is around 32 hours. That's including all the recharges you get inside the case. Now the claimed battery life for the actual buds when you put them on without the case is 8 hours per session. Now, I find that hard to believe. These things do have a larger shell than other earbuds, so I could probably vouch for that, but even though I haven't been able to actually test them to the full 8-hour extent, I can imagine getting about 6 hours before having to recharge on max volume, or possibly 8 hours at a lower volume. So it really depends on how they actually tested it, but that's what I think. You'll probably get around 5 to 6 hours while utilizing them to their full potential. And finally, the last thing to talk about here would be the actual connection quality. These things, being truly wireless earbuds, can maintain a solid connection. So good that you can actually go in a corner of a house and go upstairs to the other side of the house and still be able to hear and listen to whatever is playing. These things actually blew my mind when I actually did that. The connection quality is insane. I mean, some other earbuds or headphones or even Bluetooth headsets out there, when you actually put them on, when I actually move my shoulder in a certain way, it would actually cut out the connection between the earbuds or the headphones and my phone. And that should not be an issue. But with these things, you will not have that issue. They have a solid connection and they will go for a really long range. And something I forgot to mention is the fact that the case here can actually tell you the battery life when you actually go ahead and open it up. So the door here is not just a dummy, it actually has some function. So when you close it and open it, it will tell you the battery life in a 3-star format. And yes, it would have been nice if it was actually 4 instead of 3. And yeah, other than that, guys, that is actually pretty much of this video. There's not a whole lot to talk about other than the fact that I'm giving these my Kommando stamp of approval. They pretty much cover almost everything you need from a truly wireless pair of earbuds. From audio quality to comfort to microphone quality to pretty much to battery life and build quality itself. And again, the fact that the connectivity is fantastic and the microphone is great, that is good enough for gaming. I think this is a pretty fantastic offering from Edifier. So if you're looking for a truly wireless pair of earbuds that is under $100 and has most of the things covered with pretty much all the features in high quality, then again, this is a fantastic offering. And with all that being said, that is all for this video. So thank you all for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, found it helpful, hit the like button and subscribe for content like this, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, everyone.